Well, good morning. Hello. The title for today is Common Law Grand Juries and More. Those who are familiar with my channel know that I am a peace delegate with Swiss Indo. A lot of people, delegates included, have questions and concerns, and some critics seem to come on really strongly in attacking Mr. Sugi and the entire program being proposed and rolled out step by step. However, and this is so important to understand, Swiss Indo is not the only project on the table. Lots of other visionaries are playing their parts and co-creating a world that works for everyone. One group, National Liberty Alliance, is organizing common law grand juries in the United States and other Commonwealth nations. Another group, Freedom Force International, is also playing its role in combating totalitarian government and expanding personal freedom. I remind you what I am reminding myself. This process is a transformation of energies happening very much on the spiritual level, and people are working together to bring about real changes on the ground. I do include the links for both National Liberty Alliance and Freedom Force International, and those are just two of many, many groups, by the way. After my video was recorded yesterday, I was contacted by, and I think I mentioned that, actually I think they contacted me just prior to doing the video, two African delegates that are in Indonesia currently, and I had an opportunity after my recording to have a conversation with each of them, although there were many technical difficulties, so that will not be, that will not come up on any video or anything like that. In any case, Anthea mentioned, when I asked her what's going on the ground there, she says most of the things that are happening with Swiss Indo are happening on a spiritual level. And she said people that do not operate on that level themselves have no point of reference. They're not going to get it because it's not something that's visible. And I've been trying to say the same thing in one way or another for a long time, that this project of changing the world is an enormous task, one that many people around the world, not just with Swiss Indo, but many people around the world are working very hard, each in his or her own way, to bring about change that we can really substantially believe in. But the process takes place first in the invisible realm. You need to understand that the manifestation comes after. Manifestation doesn't precede the changes in the higher thing. The changes in the consciousness level and in the invisible realm must occur first, because creation proceeds from the invisible to the visible. This is something that is very hard for people that are stuck in their 3D rational minds to comprehend. And there's almost nothing anybody can do to convince you, if that's where you are, that it can possibly be the way that I'm saying it is, because you do not get it. You do not have a point of reference. And it's not to say that some people are superior to you. That's not the point. The point is some people have spent more time developing their spiritual sensitivities than other people have. And those people, it's not that they're better or more advanced or anything like that. They've just focused their lives in a different way than those that only focus on the material realm. Now, I'm not trying to belittle the material realm. I've long been a defender of the importance of making things happen on the material realm. That's why I've been involved in various activities, including RUSA. By the way, National Liberty Alliance has certain things in common with RUSA. It's basically, there are a lot of Christians involved. They use Bible verses and also Supreme Court rulings and other things and documents going back, I'm sure, to the Magna Carta, although I don't know that specifically, but I'm sure they go back that far. And of course, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and the U.S. Constitution. And get this, folks, every part of the British Empire that was ever the British Empire is a common law country. Every nation that's ever been in the Commonwealth, every nation is a common law country. What we have in the world is not common law. It's not based on natural law. It's not based on sound principles of law. It is a lawless society that has sprung up around us. It's government of the corporation, by the corporation, for the corporation, as I've said many times. And the corporation is the problem. The structure, the very structure of corporations is an unlawful structure because it provides for people, in theory, escape from responsibility and accountability, and allows people to literally commit crimes against humanity, commit crimes against people's natural rights with impunity. And this is the totalitarian world that the Freedom Force International is challenging. And the National Liberty Alliance, I mean, they've already fully constituted. New York State was the very first state fully constituted with common law grand juries. And believe it or not, my state, Florida, was number 2, and Connecticut and Rhode Island at the same time. So they were all constituted on the 15th of March this year. And New Jersey followed, and New Hampshire has just been added. That's yesterday. New Hampshire was just added as the 6th state that is fully constituted, and the intent is to fully constitute all the states across the United States and to help people in England and Canada and Australia, South Africa, and other Commonwealth nations to set up these grand juries, which are the bridge or the safeguard between the people and the government, and they have the right, common law grand juries, to indict judges and politicians and heads of state that refuse to honor the rights of the people and honor their oaths of office. They're basically given 3 choices. Like they bring a judge into the grand jury, and they say, look, here's your options. You can either operate under common law and continue playing your role, but under common law only. If there's no victim, there's no crime, and the state can never be a victim, period. That's common law, and you can operate under that. You can resign, or you can be indicted. Those are your 3 choices. And if they want to maintain any position, they're going to have to operate under common law, and the sheriffs are going to be brought in and reminded about their oaths of office and their responsibility as the protectors of the people and the people's rights. So this is being unfolded, and I don't know a whole lot yet. I haven't looked much into the Freedom Force International. It was just something that that I saw. I thought, well, there's another group. And by the way, Swiss Indo has already agreed to fund the One World Project and the Quiche Foundation and other projects to release the funds necessary to get some of these alternative technologies moving and some of these alternative systems and whatnot put in place. Now, I want to mention something that I've noticed is in me, and I've noticed it in a lot of other people around me. That's why I can see it, because I see it in other people, and I thought, well, that's in me too. We have a strong tendency, unfortunately, to always look for what's wrong. Now you say, Ron, that's natural skepticism, and that's a good thing. Well, it can be a useful thing if it doesn't get out of proportion and get out of hand. We can spend so much time looking for things that are wrong that we don't reinforce what's right about something, that we don't strengthen the good. We only keep attacking what we see as the bad. And folks, it's humans that are helping create these things. And none of us have arrived yet. None of us are perfect. I know I'm not. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're spending all of your time nitpicking and trying to find out what's wrong with something, and you're not spending time standing up for what's right about something, I would really take some time to examine that, as I'm examining the tendency in me. I mean, when somebody puts a post on or sends me an email or something, it can be 90% wonderful. And I will pick out the one thing that I disagree with, and that's what I will respond to. The one thing that I disagree with. Instead of supporting the 90% that's perfectly good, I will focus on the one thing, the 10% or whatever, that I don't think is so hot. This is a tendency in myself that I need to change. It's something that I need to become aware of when it's happening so that I don't overreact and respond in a way that is not the most beneficial for what people are trying to do. We're all doing the best we can. And we need to recognize that we are programmed in our culture, we are brainwashed, we have all sorts of baggage. There's nobody that's baggage free. Anybody that thinks they're baggage free is nuts. There's no such thing as a baggage free human, because we all have our issues, we all have our history, we all have our filters through which we perceive reality. And we need to be aware of that and cognizant of the ways that we sabotage ourselves by oftentimes only focusing on the negative. And I'm not saying we should ignore the negative, but it's important to not put most of our emphasis there. It's important to put most of our emphasis on the things that people are doing that is right, that are creating things that will ultimately work for the betterment of humanity and for the release of humanity from the bondage system, the totalitarian system of governments, I forget the word, it doesn't matter. The system of slavery, because it is a system of human slavery. But people are waking up all over the world, and we're starting to exert our rights, exert our presence, and don't think that the elite, so-called, and it's falsely so-called, don't know what's going on. They know the awakening is occurring, and it's unstoppable because it's occurring at the heavenly realms, as Anthea told me is happening with Mr. Sugi and the Swiss Indo people. Much of what's going on there is of a very spiritual nature. And she said that no, she's never met anyone that understands banking and the laws around banking as he does. I mean, he's very knowledgeable in that area, but he's also a very deeply spiritual person, which I've heard over and over and over again by everyone who has spent time in his presence. And his mission, as he sees it, is to use the collateral accounts of which he has trusteeship for or whatever, to use them to fund portions of humanity's freedom march, if you will, to fund the things that are going to make the world better for people. That's been his dream for a long time. That's his mission. And I'm not going to throw stones at him. Are there unanswered questions? Are there concerns that I don't have answers to? Yes, there are. Yes, there are. But I'm going to try my best to believe the best about people, and I have enough evidence in my arsenal to know that Mr. Sugi has a good heart, as I do, as many of you do, and his intention is a good intention. Now they say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah. Some of you act as if the Illuminati or the dark forces are omnipotent. Folks, they are not. These forces, this cabal, is not omnipotent. They're not even wise. They're not intelligent. They don't have any creative ability themselves. They just follow a plan. The reason they want everything controlled is because they can't live outside that box, that little narrow confines of the box that they've been trained in. They're unable to get out of that box themselves. They're as much prisoners of the system, even though they seem to be operating the system. They're prisoners of the system the same as everybody else. And something has to happen in the spiritual realm that will actually manifest changes in the physical realm so that we can have things that we can really believe in. And again, none of these things are a finished product. They are all in process. You need to understand that. You need to understand. So many of you said, show me the proof, show me the proof. Well, the proof is when we get on the same team and we start pulling together to the same goal of making freedom for everyone a reality and making truth and justice a reality. When we are on that team and moving in that direction, the proof is going to follow our efforts. It's not going to precede our efforts. And you that are waiting for the proof, the manifestation, fully blossomed and fully restored and everything else, you're not helping with the process at all. In fact, that attitude is a hindrance to the process. And you need to come to grips with that. You need to understand that. And anyway, I see that I'm very close to 16 minutes, and I do thank you for listening. I'm low energy today. I did get sick last night. I ate something prior to the gig at the Buskers with my son's band playing, and by the end of the first set I had to induce vomiting so that whatever it was that settled badly on my stomach could be released. And today I'm just feeling achy all over, but I managed to get through this, and I'm surprised I didn't even mention it till the very end of the video. But once again, I thank you for all your support and your patience with me as I work through my own process, and be patient with yourself and with each other, because together we're going to accomplish some wonderful things. Thank you for listening, and namaste.